My name is Jonathan Mickelstein, and I'm a drug addict and an alcoholic, and this is my testimony. I was born and raised an Orthodox Jew, raised in a pretty sheltered family, and it was a good family, and by the age of 8, I started drinking, By the time I was 10, I figured out my mom was abusing drugs. My dad committed suicide because of the whole drug use in the family, and then my mom went on almost a 5 or 6 year run, and because of that I was put in a foster home until the age of 18, where I aged out. But while I was living in the foster home, I started using drugs, not just marijuana but ecstasy as well, and that's really where my drug use really kicked off. Up until I was 18, I wasn't using much, but maybe a little bit of alcohol here and there, but I was smoking a lot of weed, and I've been caught so many times. It's ridiculous, to be honest. So when I was 18, I moved out, started going to college, and within my freshman semester, the first 3 months of college, I spent over $2,000 or $3,000 on alcohol alone. And not because the lifestyle I wanted to gain, but because I knew I had a problem, or there was a problem inside of me that I hadn't yet identified or maybe denied. And nowadays, because of my addiction the last 3 years, it's landed me in a position where I made the dean's list every semester in college, and I maintained a 3.57 GPA for the longest. But due to desperation of my addiction, I committed 2 first-degree felonies, and I landed in jail for a week. And nowadays, life is so hard, and I wake up every morning wishing I was dead, because I'm facing 82 months in prison, federal lockup. And the feelings that I have now are despair, distraught, sorrow. Some days, I don't want to get up off my grandma's couch and do what she wants me to do to help around the house. Some days, I don't want to see anybody. I can't even look at myself in the mirror because I've changed so much due to my addiction and due to the harm that I've caused these people who I didn't know, and I put their lives in harm's way. I can't even begin to tell you where all of this came from. But I know that there are chances that can be given to those who can identify what they're going through, and who can pinpoint their addiction at an early stage, so they won't have to go through what I'm going through now. So they won't have to make the decisions that I made, and so that they won't face 82 months of federal lockup due to some simple craving. And I hope that when you are watching this, you will listen to me, and you will take from this, so maybe you'll have a chance at life, because I don't know where I'm going within the next month, even day. So thank you for listening. Knowing that my mother was an addict and feeling the way I did as a child, I just felt so alone, because for days at a time she would leave us in the house with no care, and we had to fend for ourselves most of the time, and it was scary because I didn't know what happened to her. I didn't know what she was doing, And growing up as a kid, I thought mothers were always supposed to be there for their young, no matter what, through thick and thin. And I felt like she gave up on us. Not to mention that she wasn't even my real mother. She was my adopted mother. So my real mother, gave me up for a VCR. I was adopted, and that's basically what I was, honestly felt like I was traded for. So not only one mother gave up on me, but the second one gave up on me. and it made me lose all trust in adults and people whose, I guess, power over me. I didn't really believe in anymore. The music I listen to, honestly, whether it depends on how I'm feeling during the day, it kind of just ranges, but I usually listen to down south rap. So, yeah, just really hood rap, like, Big Crit, he's my favorite rapper from Mississippi. Then I listen to Gucci Mane a lot. Migos, Lil Durk. I mean, I have a plethora, just of genres of music that I listen to, but mainly rap is like just the type I listen to because it just feels good, I'm not even gonna lie.
What positive rap do you listen to?
Well, I probably would say, Mac Miller. He's kind of this white rapper from, Philadelphia or Pittsburgh. Him, Logic. Big Crit really doesn't talk about the drug, culture, so him as well. Like, that's why he's my favorite rapper. He makes great beats, things like that. But that's really it. What's it like in recovery nowadays? Well, I spent 2 months in rehab. And before that, I spent a week in the psych ward. Which is kind of funny, but rehab for me and recovery for me is honestly the only thing I have left to better my life and to possibly give me a glimmer of hope for my future, because I don't know where I'm gonna be in the next hour. I don't know where I'm gonna be within the next few weeks. I could end up dead. I could end up back on the streets. Who knows? But recovery does something for me. It helps me find that inner solace, and maybe I can find the person who I used to be back then. Just an innocent person, a good person. And it gives me the chance to connect with other individuals who went through the same exact thing or similar things. The meetings and the fellowship help me out because, when I go to the meetings, there's, for some reason, always the coincidence that they're always talking about how I'm feeling or things I'm going through. And it gives me, some guidance to help me solve the issues that I'm currently faced with. And on top of that, I get to, meet new people, to be able to just connect with them on an intimate basis and just let me express how I feel and express who I am. And it gives me, peace of mind. Anything I do on a daily basis to maintain my sobriety can range from, taking the prescribed medicines that I, use to stay sane, to going to meetings, to searching for a job that, will accept me for who I am and hopefully give me an opportunity to work for that company, to just, hanging out with sober friends and passing the time, so the cravings and the wanting to use and pick up won't, overwhelm me as much to draw me to use.